Good day everyone, I am Angelica Ivala Canaria together with Maria Beatriz Garcia and Jayan Rabago, and we're going to discuss the Revised Corporation Code of the Philippines. Revised Corporation Code of the Philippines, which is the RA number 11232, was enacted on February 2019. The reason why they revised the corporation is to aim further ease of the formation of corporation and filing of applications and reports which have frustrated those who deal the bureaucracy. This basically mean para padaliin yung process ng pag-form ng corporation kasi we know ang bureaucracy ang nagpapatagal ng process ng corporation. With this promulgation of revised code ay mas pinili ng pabilisin ang process ng formation, and another reason is to empower the SEC to fully enforce the new law, and it also introduced the new rules and align with developments in technology and in new laws that came after the old corporation because the old corporation was promulgated on 1980 pa. So marami ng new technologies and new rules na kailangan i-adapt para mas papadali ang process. It also to institutionalize ang mga resolution ng mga SEC para gawing batas formally when it comes to interpretation ng ng Corporation Code. Title 1. General Provisions, Definitions, and Classifications. Section 1. Title of the Code. This code shall be known as the Revised Corporation Code of the Philippines. The scope of the code is to provide the formation kung ano yung makailangan for the organization and how to regulate them, such as follow the rules, kung ano yung pwede nilang gawin and kapag na-dissolve na ang corporation. Hindi lang stockholders meron ng corporations, meron ding members. And makikita natin as we go further, mas istrikto ang batas when it comes to regulating corporation than the partnership. Section 2. Corporation defined. A corporation is an artificial being created by operation of law, having the right of succession and the powers, attributes, and the properties expressly authorized by law or incidental to its existence. Here there is a statutory definition of corporation. It only refers to private corporation or corporation organized under this corporation code. Yung mga other types ng corporation such as government corporation, may other definition sila. Attributes of a corporation. It is an artificial being. It is not, in fact, and in reality, a person, but a law treats it as it were a person by process of fiction. The stockholders or members who as natural persons are merged in the corporate body, compose the corporation, but they are not the corporation. So may separate identity ang dalawa. Just like the partnership, corporation ay may legal or juridical personality separate from the stockholder or members, though hindi natural but artificial. Ang batas ay nag-provide for its creation. This doctrine called the doctrine of personality, which pertains to legal or juridical personality of corporations, it separates from these stockholders or members. Second, it is created by operation of law. Corporation as a creation of law or by operation of law. Corporation created by law is a special incorporation law or charter which directly create the corporation, while the corporation by operation of law means of a general corporation law under which individuals desiring to be and act as a corporate may incorporate. Third, it has the right of succession. Kahit may death or withdrawal, insolvency, incapacity, it will not dissolve the corporation kasi may perpetual existence. Hindi kagaya ng partnership na madi-dissolve agad pag nag-change lang yung relations. Sa old corporation, 50 years lang, then renew. But in this revised corporation, tinanggal ang 50 years, pinalitan ng perpetual existence, unless otherwise provided articles in the articles of the corporation. Kahit perpetual existence, kahit anong mangyari sa owner, stockholder, or members, it will not affect the existence of the corporations. It has the power, attributes, and property expressly authorized by law or incidents to its existence. Three classes of corporation. A corporation is an artificial being created by operation of law, having the right of succession and the powers, attributes, and properties expressly authorized by law or incidental to its existence. It talks about the classes of corporations. Corporation code is provided in two types or classes of corporation, which are the stock corporation and non-stock corporation. Non-stock corporation is created for the purpose of earning profit, and that profit is to be distributed in the form of dividends to the stockholders and kung saan sila nag-invest ng capital for the corporation. So, while the non-stock corporation are not created for profit, but rather for the public good and welfare. Other classifications of corporations. Number 1, as the numbers of persons who compose them. Corporation aggregate, consisting of more than one members or corporations, while the corporate sole is a religious corporation, a special form of corporation usually associated with the clergy. One member or corporators only and his successor, such as bishop. Number 2, as to whether they are for religious purposes or not. Ecclesiastical corporation is organized for religious purposes, while the lay corporation was organized for other than religion, and subdivided into which are eleemosynary or civil. Number 3, as to whether they are for charitable purposes or not. Eleemosynary corporation, so it was organized for charitable purposes. Example, ang mga foundations. Civil corporations, it was established for business or for profit. Number 4, as to state under or by whose laws they had been created. Domestic corporation, either by specific law or special charter or under general corporation law, which is in this case is the Revised Corporation Code of the Philippines. Foreign corporations, sa ibang bansa sila na-incorporate. As to their legal right to corporate existence. De jure corporation, a corporation existing in fact and in law, while the de facto corporation is a corporation existing in fact but not in law. Number 6, as to whether they are open to the public or not. Closed corporation, one which is limited to selected persons or members or of family. Open corporations, which is open to any person who may wish to become a stockholder or member thereto. As to their relation to another corporations. Patent or holding corporations, one which is so related to another corporation that it has the power either directly or indirectly to elect the majority to the directors of such corporations. The subsidiary corporations is one which is so related to another corporation that majority of its directors can be elected either directly or indirectly by such other corporations. It is one in which another corporation 17 owns at least a majority of the shares and thus has control. Affiliated corporation, one related to another by owning or being owned by common management or by long-term lease of its properties or other control device.
Section 4 of the Corporation Code of the Philippines pertains to corporations that are established by special laws or charters. These are corporations that are not formed under the general provisions of the Corporation Code but are instead established by specific laws or legislative acts governed primarily by special laws or charters. The main rule and regulations that this corporation must follow are those laid out in special laws or charters that created them, supplemented by the provisions of the Corporation Code. in cases where this special law or charters does not provide specific guidance, the general provisions of the Corporation Code will apply. Insofar as they are applicable, the provisions of the Corporation Code will only apply to the extent that they are relevant and compatible with the special laws or charters. Section 5 of the Corporation Code of the Philippines defines key terms related to the individuals involved in a corporation. Corporators are the individuals who compose the corporation. In a stock corporation, corporators are referred to as stockholders or shareholders. In a non-stock corporation, corporators are referred to as members. Incorporators are the individuals who initially form and organize the corporation. Corporators, they are specifically named in the Articles of Incorporation, which is the document that legally established by the corporation. I will just discuss the summary of Section 6. Section 6 of the Corporation Code of the Philippines outline how share in a corporation can be classified and what rights come with those shares. Classification of shares. Shares have different types with specific rights, privileges, and restrictions. These details must be stated in the Articles of Incorporation. Equality and voting rights. Generally, all shares are equal unless stated otherwise in the Articles of Incorporation or Certificate of Stock. Shares typically have voting rights, but preferred or redeemable share may not. There must always be at least one class of shares with full voting rights. Non-voting shares. Even non-voting shares can vote on critical matters such as amendments to the Articles of Incorporation or bylaws, major property transactions, bonded indebtedness, changes to capital stock, mergers, investment, and dissolution. No par value shares. Shares can have a par value or no par value, but certain companies cannot issue no par value shares. No par value shares must be sold for at least 5 pesos per share, and all money received from their sale is treated as capital and cannot be distributed as dividends. Preferred shares. Preferred shares get priority for dividends and assets during liquidation but must have a par value. The board of director can set terms for preferred shares and authorized in the Articles of Incorporation, with these terms taking effect after filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Legal compliance shares can be further classified to meet legal and constitutional requirements.
Section 7 Founder Shares. Founder shares may be given rights and privileges not enjoyed by the owners of other stocks. The general rule is that where the exclusive right to vote and be voted for in the election of directors is granted, it must be for a limited period and not to exceed 5 years from the date of incorporation. The exception is that such exclusive right shall not be allowed if its exercise will violate the following policies: Commonwealth Act 108 or the Anti-Dummy Law, which seeks to penalize persons and corporations which circumvent foreign equity restrictions, and RA 7042 or the Foreign Investments Act of 1991, which is the policy of the Philippines to attract, promote, and welcome equity investments from foreign individuals, partnerships, corporations, and governments in the form of either foreign exchange or other assets actually transferred to the Philippines and duly registered with the BSP. Section 8, Redeemable Shares. Redeemable shares may be issued by the corporation when expressly provided in the Articles of Incorporation. They are shares which may be purchased by the corporation from the holders of such shares upon the expiration of a fixed period, regardless of the existence of unrestricted retained earnings in the books of the corporation, and upon such other terms and conditions stated in the Articles of Incorporation and the certificate of stock representing the shares, subject to the rules and regulations issued by the Commission. One of the reasons why redeemable shares are issued is to specifically buy out certain shareholders. When a corporation does this, it means that its objective is to remove certain shareholders. Section 9, Treasury Shares. These are shares of stock which have been issued and fully paid for, but subsequently reacquired by the issuing corporation through the means of purchasing, redemption, donation, or some other lawful means. These shares may either remain in the company's possession to be sold in the future, or the corporation can retire the shares and become permanently out of the market circulation. Repurchasing shares of stocks may also be used as a tax-efficient method to put cash into the shareholder's hand instead of paying dividends.